for today, y'all. All right, now, y'all know generally we would start off with the town talk, then Robert's story, then come to my favorite segment, right? But we started off with town talk as we talked about the proposition last week, and we started with the community clapback because we're talking about the Oakland City Council today. So we talking about that community
Flat
clapback,
back.
y'all. All right, so let's slide into that community clapback and dissect these candidates. And so for you guys, we got a special treat for you. Generally, he's behind the scenes. He's the man with the fingers on the buttons, you know. But right now, he's gonna tell us about Dan Cap. Come
Mm.
on, Duncan, our producer, Duncan Padilla.
Thank you, thank you. Yep, I'm Duncan Badia. I'm usually behind the scenes, so it's really exciting to actually be speaking for the first time. So I'm going to be profiling Dan Kalb, who was the District 1 candidate winner in Oakland this year. So as you can see on the screen, he got 16,911 votes, which is 54% of all the votes. He also assumed office in 2013. So he's been in office now for 7 years and will continue to be in office for a few more. For Dan Kalb, he's worked as a policy director, environmentalist, and advocate for public interest and social justice advocate. He's also been an advocate for police reform, protection of tenants and homelessness, and a lot more. He's also even supported additional funding for homelessness and low income tenants. And he's been a huge impact in terms of authoring legislation for multiple things such as environmental legislation, government transparency and ethics, public safety, housing and tenant protection, and business economic development. So he's been pretty active within the community over the years. And even right now, he's helping lead efforts to civilianize certain police functions that are better performed by civilian personnel, which is a huge thing that really aligns well with the Emerald New Deal. He's also said no on Prop 20, and he's openly said this regarding the misdemeanors and felonies. And just kind of who he is and like what he believes in. He's a huge advocate for the people, and he really just believes um, in the BLM movement. He believes in equity for all. And in my opinion, I just believe, yeah, he would be a huge supporter of the Emerald New Deal, especially because he cares a lot about the homeless, affordable housing, and tenant protection, as well as anti-displacement laws. And if you've been paying attention to our show and kind of just been following, you should know that the Emerald New Deal really focuses on getting the funds from the Oakland police into a special fund through the cannabis tax. Um, and through the Emerald New Deal, it really just feel like it does align very well with his beliefs. So, in my opinion, I feel like Dan Kalb is who will be a huge supporter of the Emerald New Deal, and that is,
Okay, Duncan.
yeah.
Hey,
Good job, man. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
hey,
Definitely
Duncan.
nervous to be speaking for the first time, but thank you. I
That's
really
all good,
appreciate
man.
it.
Hey, you did a good job. I mean, I think you broke it down well. You spoke highly about his commitment to social justice issues, and the Emerald New Deal is a social justice initiative. So when we look at how our city council members align with the Emerald New Deal, we have to look at the things they've supported before. And so that's what we're doing today, y'all. And for all of y'all in his district, man, holler at him, let him know. Hey, y'all need to support the Emerald New Deal.
Hmm.
All right, let's slide to the next candidate, please. That's District
Carol
3.
Fife. Yeah, man. Carol Fife, man. I was kind of excited, man, when I heard that Carol Fife won, man. Early on in this process, when we started talking about the candidates and started talking about this political race that was coming up, she was one of the people that I actually had the pleasure of profiling. So I did a little bit of reading up on her and stuff like that. You know, Carol Fife is one of the women, the founders of houses for moms, right? So in the city of Oakland, and so she's really big on basically people getting houses for single mothers and keeping a roof over their heads. You know what I mean, for the single mothers and the children and stuff. And in that way, I believe that Carol Fife will be a great endorser for the Emerald New Deal. Just because, you know, a lot of our initiative is aimed towards the community, is aimed towards keeping people in their homes, you know what I mean, keeping kids off the streets, keeping kids from being homeless and stuff like that. So in this race, you know, she was kind of the underdog. You know what I mean? Lynette McElhaney, she was the incumbent, and she was a heavy favorite. But you know, Carol Fife, you know, she came in with a vengeance, man. You know, and it kind of gives it kind of shows that Oakland is kind of moving in another direction, man. It's moving towards people that are a little bit younger, and a little bit more in tune and a little bit more connected to the community. Carol Fife, she received nearly 50% of the vote, and it got so bad to where McElhaney actually just called the Chronicle, you know what I mean, and kind of conceded Monday, letting it be known that, you know what I mean, she figured that basically the fight was won, and she wasn't the winner. And Carol Fife, I think she would be a really, really great endorser of the Emerald New Deal, because in a lot of ways our agenda lines up perfectly with hers. So I think this is a big win for the city of Oakland, but I also think it's a big win for the Emerald New Deal and the things that we represent, which is the city of Oakland. You know, what you think, Unc?
Well, man, you know, like Carol Fife, she got that fire in her, right?
Right.
She's actually down there with the people, doing the work that the people need done in order for us to achieve equity and empowerment in this new day and age, right? And so
Right.
I feel like when you have these special moments in time, you need the right people to be there to make the most of it. And, you know, Lynette, she's been there for a while, and now there's somebody new, there's fresh blood. And, you know, and one thing I can say, man, is that I am so proud of our young sisters taking such a lead in this battle in this political arena that we deal with, because our sisters showed up, and not only for the presidential election, but right here in Oakland on our city council, man.
Yeah, man, and it just shows that you know, Carol Fife, man, just specifically more going back to one specific sister, man. The city of Oakland love her, man, and I think it's abundantly clear that the city of Oakland loves her. But I think what the best part about it is it's abundantly clear that she loves the city. You know, so these are the kind of people that we love to see, and that to get a chance, to get an opportunity. You know, now we know there is no such thing as a perfect candidate, and there's no such thing as the perfect councilman and the perfect councilwoman or the perfect president. You know what I mean? But sometimes you can get people in place at the right place at the right time, and it can just turn into the perfect situation. So we're hoping that that's what the case is in this situation here.
For sure, nephew, man, that's good commentary, Mike. Let's slide to that next one. All right,
Kaplan. Rebecca Kaplan was the at-large candidate, man, and you know, she was the incumbent. And
oh, you know about her too?
A little bit,
Oh man, come on,
Rebecca. I know a little bit about Rebecca Kaplan, man. So like I said, she's another person that's a very, very strong advocate for the homeless in the city of Oakland. A very strong advocate for keeping people in their homes. Just reading about her, I actually read something talking about there being about the number of homeless that are actually in the city, and there was supposed to be a little bit over 4,000 people that are considered homeless. That number has actually been put up to a little over 6,000 people, and that's just something I didn't realize. Like, when you think about it, that's a lot of people without a roof. 6,000 people in one city without a roof over their head. You know what I mean? Or sleeping on someone's couch, or sleeping in hotels and stuff like that.
Or under the freeway.
Or under the freeway, man. And Rebecca Kaplan was a person that is a strong advocate for that. She's a strong adversary of big business, of the billionaire bullies that she called them herself. And she made a just a little quote that she said in on K-Ron, and she was saying this victory shows that Oakland is not for sale. Billionaire bullies and their $500,000 in expenditures against me were no match for Oakland voters and the trust placed in me by my community. I look forward to continuing working with my colleagues on important issues facing our city. But again, this connects directly to some of the shows that we had early on when we were talking about some of those developments, those new developments in the city of Oakland, and how the big business is pushing the little guy out. Not only is it pushing out the mom and pops businesses, but it's pushing out mom and pops too, right? Yeah. They can't even afford housing or anything like that anymore, man, because there's just so much money in the Bay Area, man. The prices are getting so ridiculous just to live in California itself and Oakland and specifically, that big business is making a killing, man, and they're making a killing off the blood and sweat and the tears of the moms and popses and people like myself and yourself that are just getting pushed out. You know, and Rebecca Kaplan has shown that she's a big advocate for those type of people, man. And in that way, that just kind of like shows you how great things are kind of align themselves, how the stars are kind of align themselves, because the couple of people that we've profiled so far already have issues that are directly correlated with some of the things that we've already been talking about before we even knew they were going to be put into office, you know? So it's like a great thing, man. And it'd be a beautiful thing if we can have someone like Rebecca that can actually come and endorse and put her foot behind and put her power behind what we have going on, because we are basically fighting for the same cause, you know what I mean? So it's like, it seems like it's only right that people like Carol Fife and Rebecca, that they would be able to just, you know, kind of fall in line with what we have going on, because at the end of the day, they're already in line with it. We just, you know.
So, hey, Rob, so one of the things I'm noticing, and we're here to do a genuine political analysis of this election as we see it as Oakland residents, right? We ain't no experts at this, but I live on these streets and I work in this city, right? And so one of the things I'm noticing is that the people that were backed by the mayor seem to have gotten soundly defeated.
Man, it's crazy, right? Because from what I understand, Derek Johnson was kind of like a person that was kind of handpicked by the mayor to run against Rebecca, right? And he's one of the people that was endorsed by Libby Schaaf, and it just kind of shows that I don't want to cast aspersions on anybody or speak negative about anybody, but it kind of sees that maybe the mayor's agenda isn't quite lined up with the word and ideas of what the people are thinking, because the people aren't thinking that any of the candidates that the mayor put forward or the mayor was backing, people aren't thinking that those are the people that they want.
Hey, and you know, to be honest, I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's an honest assessment. I mean,
I'm not trying to talk bad about the mayor. I'm just saying it seems like the city ain't really rocking with it right now.
The vote is the referendum, right? And so far, the referendum has been that the people of Oakland are against big business developers moving in and displacing our people, and then having politicians support their agenda.
Right.
So that's what it looked like to me.
That's what the results are showing.
And so all we're doing is giving an analysis of the terrain that we living in now, because when it comes to the Emerald New Deal, we want to be able to help our people stay in their home. We want to be able to help our people get educated in this new world of technology when they come home from prison. They should have that opportunity to do that. We want to make sure our people are able to make sure that they can get educated and get career development as far as job training, and be able to be pointed in a direction where they can make a living for themselves, an honorable way, and live in decent housing. And so we say, why shouldn't this marijuana tax money be used to help cement our people's power in our community?
Right. Right. And you already know what I told you about restitution, man. I told y'all, man, the government want theirs. So shit, it's only right we get ours too.
That's right. And so as we look at our new city council, we're looking at how the stars are aligning for us to make this happen for the people of Oakland. So let's slide on to this next one, Duncan. Cool. I guess Noel Gallo is mine. So Mr. Noel Gallo defeated Richard Ray. I believe Richard Ray put up a big fight, a bigger fight than people might have thought he would, and he was I would have to say an honorable candidate. Now, this is the difference between having the younger people win and the older politician win, because Mr. Gallo is still in office, but Mr. Gallo has been out there on those streets talking about how and witnessing the crime that has been plaguing Oakland since COVID-19. And so I spoke to Mr. Gallo this morning, and Mr. Gallo is a firm supporter of the Emerald New Deal. And I would like to salute his win, but even more so, I want to give him credit for listening to us before he won the election and now following up after he's won. And that's what's important, because it's about actions. It's not about words. People, we know that in a political climate, a politician can tell you anything, right? But are they going to be true to their word? And when you see somebody being true to it and acting on it, then that means that's somebody that you can count on. And as we move forward,
Right.
Emerald New Deal, we want to make sure that we have people behind us, because I speak to Noel's constituency too. You know, Mr. Gallo say he's gonna push us. Let's push this all together, because it takes a community to change a city. It takes that. It takes all of us working together, black and brown, poor, rich. I mean, all of us to fight this and work together to shape our city into what we want it to look like. And you had to say something. You was gonna say something, nephew?
Right, man. Yeah, man. I was just gonna say, man, that I don't know if y'all can hear that in the background. We got some people working on stuff in the house, but so I apologize for the noise. But yeah, I was gonna say, man, in my first conversation, the first interview that we did with Noel Gallo, man, just sitting and talking to him, man, you can kind of see he a real dude, you know. I was kind of feeling the dude, man, because in a lot of ways he reminded me of people I know, you know what I mean? Older dudes from the neighborhood that's been around, seen a lot of stuff and just tired of seeing it, you know what I mean? And want to see something different, man. And you can hear it in his voice, you can see it in his eyes, you know what I mean? So just when we first were talking to him about the Emerald New Deal, man, and just, you know what I mean, you can see that he's seen the vision too, and he knew like, whoa, this is something, this right here is something that really could work, you know what I mean? And just like I said, man, it's good when you can see that. And just me personally, when I can talk to a person and then and knowing where their heart is, and then knowing that the people put them in a position to use that, you know what I mean? I like to do it myself, you know what I mean? Not just as a politician, but as a person, man. He seemed like a real good guy, man, real genuine guy, man. So I wish him all the best, man. And I'm excited about what's coming next.
Yeah, hey, that's good, man. Because nephew, man, I look at it like this, man. You know, whoever gets in office owe the people, right? And the people owe that person in office to be vigilant, to hold people accountable. And so that means they have a right to push that agenda because the people behind them, right? So that's how we want to look at it, man. We need to push this agenda to change our city from one where rich people, carpetbaggers, could just come in, fleece our folks, and then flee the city with their funds and start keeping our money in our city and rebuilding our city for our people.
Right, man. Right, man. Because like you just said on the last segment, man, you know, it's restitution, man. You know, and the government want their issue, man. And like I said, I owe the government a whole bunch of bread, man, and they ain't gonna stop until they got every last penny. So I feel like, man, how can we do anything less than what they doing, right? It's only constitution. It's only right, right?
Hey, you know, Rob, I look at the Emerald New Deal as not only being restitution, but atonement, because you could pay restitution and still not care about the people that you supposedly hurt. But when you look at it as atonement, you're reinvesting in those people that were harmed and you trying to help build them back up. All right, so let's slide on to that next
Absolutely
report.
right.
Uh-oh, District 7. So as you all know, if you watch previous shows, that we did not like the incumbent's politics. We did not like the results of the incumbent's term, and we were glad he was gone. And so now his daughter is in office. But there's some things we found out about Treva that gives us hope and promise that her politics will be completely different than her dad. That she will be one for the people of Oakland, in East Oakland, in District 7, who are suffering, and be willing to do those things that would help empower that community. Because that's the community that gave her 5,109 votes. And to be honest, um, East Oakland, we could have did better on our vote totals, y'all. I'm just being honest. We could have had, we should have
Yeah, because that's a
done way
ridiculous
better in our vote totals.
number, man.
And it's
That's a
especially
ridiculously low
for
number, man. I mean,
a
I can't say that I'm upset
election
with the
as
results.
important as this, which is going to determine the
Right,
destiny and
man.
course of our city, for the years to come. So, but I'm looking at this, and Bishop Bob Jackson, who has done a lot of work in the community, has one of the biggest churches in Oakland, has been very, very instrumental in hiring people from the reentry community and helping them get a hand up, because he also runs a transition house. I mean, these are the kind of people that we wanted running, right? That was going to do things for the community and help build the community in a way that hasn't been built before. And so we hoping that Treva will be fulfilling that promise of her position and be a staunch advocate and supporter and endorser of the Emerald New Deal, in recognition of the fact that the Emerald New Deal is meant to empower a community that has been disenfranchised unjustly for years and years and years and years and years.
Right.
Nephew.
Yeah, a couple months ago, I had a profile Trevor myself, and I kind of threw a challenge out there. I wasn't really intending it to be that, you know what I mean? But I was kind of like saying something like, that her father's politics haven't necessarily been the best thing for East Oakland. So in order for us to look at her and to know that she's gonna be something different, man, she got to say it. Otherwise, we just gonna assume she's gonna be doing the same thing her father was doing, and we're gonna assume she following in his footsteps. But since I'm not saying it was me, anything like that, but since there has been other ways that she has come out and let it be known that she's gonna be a whole different person, that she's her own woman. You know what I mean? And that's a powerful thing, man. We kind of glad to see it, man, because Oakland was needing some change, man. East Oakland in particular, man, needs some change, man. And so we kind of looking forward to seeing what she can do. She seems like a real smart woman. She's been around for a while as far as education and stuff like that. So we going to see that if she can do the things that she says she's gonna do when she gets in this office, man. And it's I look forward to the future. Put it that way.
Man, hey, and Rob, man, I'm sitting here listening to you, and and I'm saying we want people in office who are gonna blaze the trail of the people, not their own trail. We want people who are going to sitting in office and sitting in that position, who says, how can I make this city better for my people? And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see how our new city council can work together and come together, not in divisiveness, but for a mission to improve the communities who have been disenfranchised, and to bring about that culture of Oakland where, man, we all mess with each other, man. We cool with each other out here, man. And so that's what we need out here, man. We need economic empowerment for our people. We need compassion for our people, man, who out there on those streets, who have been disenfranchised by our administration. I mean, all I can say about the referendum against the candidates that were backed by our mayor is that our people felt like we needed a change. And the ones that they didn't feel like we needed to change, they kept them in. And that's a referendum to me. So, we want to thank y'all for, that's the last one, right, Duncan? I thought so.
Yep.
We want to thank y'all for showing up. We want to thank y'all for being a part of the Emerald New Deal movement, because this is a social justice movement, y'all. And we're going to make this happen. And we're going to change Oakland and turn Oakland into one of those revolutionary cities like it's always been, man.
Hey, but always remember this too, though, man. That quote of the day, man. Now is the time to be vigilant, man. Just because we got these people in office, or just because we kind of voted in the people that we think or we thought might be the best candidates, don't mean you can just sit back and expect them to do the job, man. Not only do we got to get out there in the community ourselves and do the work, we got to put that flame on them too, man. We got to put the fire to them to make sure that they say that they're going to do the things that they said they was going to do when they got elected, right? We got to make sure that that they going to continue in the directions that we want the city to move into, man. Because right now, man, Oakland is in a state, man, that it has never been before, man. And it's extremely sad, man. And so I'm looking forward to not only the people that have been elected and put into office to make that change and push it forward, but the people who did the electing, the people that are sitting at home. I'm looking forward to seeing them, put the to the fire, man, and make it happen, man. Because
how we do that, Rob?
We got a long way to go, man, to get back where we're supposed to be at, man. But we're gonna get there, man. But the first thing you can do is go out, talk to your city council member, and let them know, man, that the Emerald New Deal is an ordinance that will take 100 marijuana tax out of the general fund and place it into community equity fund. I'm going to put money back into the community, into these people that have been put into office. Their agendas line up really, really well with what we got going on over here at the Emerald New Deal, man. And we just think that it'll be a blessing that if we can get this power behind us. And it's not saying that the Emerald step, in that it's taking some money that is duly needed and putting into a place where it's supposed to be put, man.
And hey, nephew, when you say that, man, one of the things, man, I always want to remember, man, is that we put people in power who are gonna look after our self-interest, right? But we really want people in power who's sitting in those seats to look out for everybody's best interest. And so, hey, when people vote, they vote in their best interest, man. How many of us really honestly, otherwise, Trump wouldn't have got them 70 million votes, right?
But
so what I'm saying is,
hey, yeah, true. But
hold on, let me finish.
Only one thing I want to say about that. Okay, go ahead. My apologies. Go ahead.
Because what I was gonna say is this: is that now that we have a city council sitting there, we are employing that city council and all of their actions to think mostly about what is going to help the people of Oakland. How are we going to help empower our people who have been disenfranchised? And how can we find creative ways to do this, regardless of self-interest? The best interest of the people of Oakland, California. That's what I was going to say. Now, go ahead, nephew.
All I was going to say was, man, most people do vote with their self-interest in mind. But if you look at this last election, there were a lot of people voting with thoughts of others on their mind too, man. Because me and you couldn't vote for the right to get to vote. We didn't have no right. You know what I mean? So the people who did had their rights, but they voted on our behalf. You know what I mean? And they gave us that right back. The same thing with the people who are out there who Rebecca Kaplan is trying to get homes for and try to get them off the streets. Most of those people didn't go out there and vote. Most of those people didn't have the abilities to go vote. You know what I mean? But there were people that did have homes, did have roofs over their heads, that went out there and said, I'm looking out for these people. I'm looking out for the ones that need this help. You know what I'm saying? And in that way, that shows good signs, good positive signs that Oakland is moving in the right direction, man. Because it wasn't just the people with the money backing them that got into office. It wasn't just the people with big businesses and stuff got into office. It was the little people that got into office. And it takes some money, or it takes some people that are on that other side to say, you know what? I think I want to do what's right for them too, man. It takes them to do the vote too, man. So we can't just say that people were only thinking selfishly when they went out there and voted. A lot of people voted for some to help other people too, man.
All right. So, in regards to that, I stick to what I said. That when people vote,
I'm not saying you was wrong,
Oh
man.
no, hold on.
I'm not saying you was wrong.
Oh no.
I ain't saying you was wrong, man.
Oh no.
I'm just sending a shout out to the people who did the few people who did vote for others, man. That's all.
Yeah.
With others' interests in mind. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
hey, and in respect to that, bruh, young nephew, I would have to say this. That
All right.
our new city council owes the people of Oakland the right to be housed, the right to be employed, and the right to be shown compassion. That's what our new city council owes them, and that should be above and beyond politics. And so I'm just hoping, because we have such a mix of housing advocates, of crime prevention advocates, and of defunding the police and reinvesting in community advocates, that this should be the perfect stew for us, man. Or should I say the perfect roux for the perfect gumbo, man, for us to do something in Oakland for everyone.
Right.
So I hope so y'all come back to see us next week, like always. My nephew will be here. OJ will be here next time. And we was glad to introduce you to the voice of our producer, Duncan, who refused to allow you to see who he looks like.
Yeah, but listen, if you have an underwear company, he is a model, so you can call him. He will model all of that. You see the picture down there. You know what I mean? He's ready for. I'm just joking, Duncan. I'm kidding, man. I appreciate you coming on, Duncan. I just be teasing Duncan, man, about being a Calvin Klein model, man. But Duncan's a real good dude, man. Most of these graphics and stuff you guys see, Duncan put that together, man. Me and my uncle, man, we wouldn't have been able to do none of this without him, man. So thanks again, Duncan, man, for showing up for us, brother.
Of course.
From one model
Thank you for
to
having
another.
me.
Hey, from one model to another.
From one model to
From one model to another.
You play too much.
Hey, love y'all,
You play
man.
too much. Oh, you talking about my uncle model in the pins? Oh man, diapers. All right, you right. I love y'all too, man. Y'all be good, man.
Okay. Clap back there, boy.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.
Y'all too. Like.
What's up? What's up?